Hello everyone, it's Monica, also known as Sleeved After 60, and I'm coming to you for my update. Today is May 1st, 2018, and I haven't done an update in about 6 weeks. I've been under construction. Unfortunately, it wasn't the good kind. No plastic surgery or anything. I think the last time I came to you, which was right before my first year surgeryversary, I talked about getting ready to have cataract surgery, and since then I've had 3 procedures, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Everything's okay. So this is May 1st, and it's my week 57 update. I had VSG, which is a weight loss surgery, often called a sleeve, on March 14th of 2017. Interestingly enough, on March, I think 13 or 14 of this year is when I had my first cataract surgery. At the day, my surgery was at the University of Minnesota Fairview Hospital with Dr. Leslie. The day of surgery, I was 198 pounds. My highest weight ever recorded, well, that was in the 250, I think it might have been 256, but the highest weight in this century was 240, which was almost 3 years ago. And that was, I think, in June of 2015 after I retired from work. And then I started the process on April 1st of 2016. So it's been 2 years. April 1st, it's been 2 years. And as I said, the day that I went to surgery, I did a weight loss program that I lost about 40 pounds before. But when I started at the university, because I had a different surgery group first, so when I started in November of 2016, I started with the university at 224 and got down to 198. So lot of stuff. I usually do updates on Tuesdays. Like today, I weigh in on Tuesdays, and I just was not doing well. I wasn't feeling well, and I couldn't see well. So I haven't been on social media for the longest time. I know that some people have sent me messages, and I've tried my best to answer those. The reason for it was that, interestingly enough, I was just one of those people. I had cataract surgery in my right eye, and then 2 weeks later I had it on my left eye. And what happened was that I developed some scar tissue. Who would have known that you develop scar tissue on your eyeball? So I had to have a little update. I don't know what the word is that they use, and that was a week ago Monday. And then tomorrow I'll go back and they'll check again, and then later on this month I'm going to have a little LASIK on my right eye. My left eye is really doing well. Well, both eyes are doing well. I didn't really have much of an issue, but what happens, as sometimes does, is that I did get this scar tissue, and so I didn't know what it was at first. And so I kind of saw double, and I couldn't figure out exactly what it was, because the first 2 weeks I was able to wear my glasses. And then, of course, my prescription didn't work, and so I was very dizzy and nauseous all the time. I couldn't figure out. And then they did, I now have cheaters that are sort of helping, and it's a process, it's a process. And so I'm doing okay. I would still totally recommend doing it, because it's amazing what you don't see when you don't see it. So weight-wise, let's get back to why I'm here and why most of you are here. Weight-wise, this was week 57. I went into maintenance, I think, at week 22 maybe, 23, something like that. Oh no, 23 is my BMI, sorry. I don't remember, maybe it was 33. When did I go into, I know I hit my normal BMI before 6 months post-surgery. And so I'm most comfortable about at 140 to below 140. Today, I was 139.7. I've got this month, I actually, for the whole month of April, I showed I think for the month I showed, wait a minute, for the month I showed a 2-pound gain. So on the one hand, that's concerning to me, although it's just, it's 2 pounds. What's 2 pounds? I always get worried. And this is what I wanted to talk about because it's interesting, because it's a mindset, right? Because I'll worry about 2 pounds, even though last month I had kind of a weird low, because I ended up being like, I think 137 pounds, which was one of the lowest weights that I've had so far. So what does that mean to me? Really, it's crazy thinking. It's kind of that eating disordered thinking, because it's that number that if I see it go up, for some reason I panic. And I've panicked. The thing is that you can't have your weight always go down. And by the way, if you open the comments, I keep track of every Tuesday, and you can see it's, like I think this week, I don't know whether I lost or gained. I think I lost like 0.4. So the clothes, I'm still a size 2.4. The clothes don't show any change, but it's psychological and it's what I deal with. So what does that mean? That means that there is no happily ever after. It's a process. It's an ongoing process that I do and I look at every day. The way that I've been able to maintain my weight loss, and if you want to call that success, is by what I call, not only an abstinence based is kind of what I call it as far as recovery from my binge eating disorder. So what does abstinence base mean for me? I think everybody has to figure out what theirs is. For me, it means that carbohydrates and sugars I don't use. I just don't use, and the only carbohydrate that I eat are fruits, berries, and this morning I had a whole mango. Why do I stay away? Well, because for me, I know that I don't do well with that kind of stuff. I just don't. So I don't ingest them. I stay away from, other carbohydrates. So although I don't keep track of my food per se, I sort of keep track in my head, and I eat a very simple diet. We go out, I drink alcohol, which is usually white wine, but I have to keep an eye on it, and I think it's going to be forever. And if I ever think that it's not, that's when I get in trouble, because I will. That's where I am. So the day-to-day, it's not as pronounced, the whole thing, as it used to be. It's not my first thought in the morning, my last thought at night. I have other issues in my life related to aging, just like everybody else, relating to life. So that's the good part, but I still process. I still go to therapy, every week. The interesting thing that my therapist brought up was was that, I talked about wanting to have this surgery and losing the weight so that I could be present for my life. And she brought this up to my attention the other day, that we're talking about my life and everything else that comes with, with aging and living your life, and how we're not talking about binging and weight and binging and not binging and restricting and all that stuff like we had done before. And that was my goal. So I did reach my goal, which was to live my present life. And that's huge. And I still kind of deal with it and try to make peace with it, because what does it mean for me in the community, well, it's just a different stage. It's a different stage. It's not the loss stage. And I think that that's also a huge loss, if you will. It's an ambiguous loss, because all of a sudden I'm not thinking about when I lose weight, or what about losing weight when I see something on, I get fashion magazines and I love fashion. And when I look at, how to lose 5 pounds, I don't want to know. And it's not my interest, because I don't have 5 pounds to lose. And it's hard to say that, right? Because it's like, when in my life have I ever not said, well, I could use losing another pound? Not there. It's not there. And it's kind of like when you get to a place in your life, and I've been really lucky to have gotten there, where, I go to a store and I don't need anything. And my husband always says, well, there are needs and there are wants. But it's nice to say, there's nothing I need. There's nothing I need. I can just sort of look or not look, or say, I would rather do something else with my time. So it's kind of the same thing. I don't need to lose weight. My needs are met. So it's an ambiguous loss in that if you've spent your whole life looking at losing weight, and even, when I've been thin before, of how long was I able to keep that weight loss, then what do you do when you really face other issues in your life, which is kind of where I am at age 65. 3 weeks from today is my 65th birthday, which is what all my goals were about: being healthy, reaching my 65th birthday, and having to change health insurances and being healthy. So what do you do with your needs and wants, when in fact that stepping stone has been achieved? It's kind of like when your kids are grown and you no longer have to think about schools, and you can move wherever you want, because it doesn't matter what the school system is like. It's kind of the same thing. It's kind of like, okay, now where? I know it's not the same thing, but you know what I mean. So in the one hand, it's an ambiguous loss, because when I get on the scale and I get all nervous, and it goes up and it goes down, I have to separate that this is no big deal. It's just a number and I'm okay. Because I'm still working with that. Am I going to be able to fit into my clothes? And it's funny, because when I gained, like I said, this month I gained whatever it was, 2 pounds. Well, last month my weight was really, out of the ordinary low. And I think, are my size 2 pants that I'm wearing today, are they going to fit? Guess what? They fit, with room to spare. So that's a place to be. And that's my update. Everyone, thank you for your lovely thoughts. And I think 4 weeks we'll see each other. Some of us will see each other in San Antonio. We're in this together. Take care. Have a good week. And I'll see you all soon. Besos.